Welcome back to my channel. I am so glad that you're here today because I want to talk to you about rebuilding your life. Have you ever felt like you were just in this really stuck place in life? Like a place where you're like, Lord, I don't know what is happening. I don't know why I'm here. I feel like I'm not progressing, like I'm not moving forward in any area. It just feels completely stagnant. Have you ever felt like that? I have felt like that several times in life, and it is a very frustrating place to be. And so every time I'm there, I'm trying to pray and I'm trying to seek the Lord and hear from Him and get direction. But sometimes when you're in a really stuck place, it's hard to even hear from God. Mainly probably because we've gotten ourselves so worked up and so frazzled up about our circumstances that it's really hard to hear. But it's hard to hear and it's hard to even pray in some of those times. So if you are there, if you have ever been there, maybe you can relate to what I'm describing, but it's a very hard place full of frustration. Like maybe you tried something, or even you thought God told you to do something. You thought that God told you to take this next step and do this. And then you believed God, you trusted God, you did it, and then you felt like nothing happened, or nothing happened yet, or you felt like, well, God, what was the point of that? Because I don't see it. I don't understand what happened, or that was a complete miss, or that was a complete failure. Why did you lead me to do that? Those can be very frustrating places. Those can be very hurtful places, and it can leave us wondering what to do next. And so I truly believe that sometimes in our lives we get to a place where we have to begin to rebuild our lives. And I believe that God will give us direction and insight and clarity when it is time to rebuild our lives. So I think about Nehemiah a lot, who was called by God to rebuild the wall after it was destroyed. And he was in a rebuilding season, in a rebuilding phase. So I have another video about when it's time to rebuild. So I'll definitely link that so you can check it out. But when you are in a rebuilding phase or a season of rebuilding, it can be a hard place because you're not real sure what to do. And because you have experienced past failures, now you're a little scared to try again. Like, why in the world would I try again if this might fail too? Or what's this going to look like? Or I don't know if I have the strength to try all of that again. It's just too much. So it can be a place of, a lot of confusion, a place of wondering, what should I do? So if you are there today, you might be listening and thinking, wow, that's exactly where I am. That's exactly what I've been experiencing. I want to invite you to join me for my Rebuild Your Life 5-day challenge. And so we're going to take 5 days and kind of just start to work through some of the stuck. Okay, we're going to try to see if we can figure out what is happening in the stuck. God, we'll do a lot of prayer and ask God for a lot of direction and guidance. And so rebuilding your life, to me, of course, there are many ways to do these things, but for me, rebuilding your life happens kind of in 3 phases. There are 3 things that are pretty necessary. And I believe your faith, your relationship with God is it's like the central component of all of it. So it can be easy to lose your faith in God. It can be easy to be shaken when you have been in a place of hurt, when you have failed in what you deem as failure, when you have suffered a lot of loss. All of those places can be very difficult to remain faithful to God. All those places can remain really hard to keep your faith and still trust and believe God. And a lot of people don't want to talk about that. And a lot of people don't want to say that because people don't feel like it's the Christian thing to say, but it's a reality. And there are times in our lives where it will be a little harder than usual to continue to trust God. There are times in our lives where it will be a little harder to remain faithful. There will be times when it may be a little harder to continue trusting and believing God at the level you were before. That's just something that happens, and people may not want to talk about it. I'll talk about it. I will tell you that there have been lots of times where I have struggled in my faith. I have struggled in my trust and belief in God because I've said, God, I thought I did exactly what you told me to do. I don't understand what's happening. And so I have had many days like that. So if you are feeling that, if you have ever felt that, I don't want you to have guilt and shame around that because the devil will try to shame us. And I don't want you to feel shame if you have felt that. If you feel that right now today, if you are questioning and you're concerned like, God, are you really there? Are you really here for me? Are you really for me? If that is what you're thinking on today, I don't want you to feel any shame about that. I want you to be honest and truthful with God and say, God, I'm really struggling with my faith right now because I'm not sure what's happening. And so those are the times, those are the points, those are the places where if God is leading you and calling you, it may be time to begin rebuilding your life. So rebuilding your life to me is huge, with starting with faith. God is still the center. Whether we feel it or not, God is still the center of all that we're called to do. So faith is hugely important. Health and wellness, to me, I think is a huge pillar when we're rebuilding our lives. It's a huge pillar because wellness is so important. And when you are not mentally clear, when you are not emotionally clear, you cannot make good choices. You cannot do the next thing that God is calling you to do. So wellness is so, so important. So as we're praying and asking God for direction and guidance, we also have to begin working on our mental, emotional, physical, spiritual wellness, all the things as it relates to wellness, because we want to be well and we want to be in good health even as our soul prospers. So that is a huge part of rebuilding your life as well. And then the third part is creativity. To me, that looks like, what has God placed on the inside of you? What is it that you have buried away because of your pain, your frustration? What did he give you to do? What did he call you to do? What are you talented at? What are you gifted at? What are you skilled to do? We need to begin cultivating those gifts. We need to stir those gifts up. We need to activate those gifts so you can use those gifts to go forward in the things of God. Many times I think the things that we need to move forward are already inside of us. The things that we need to move forward are already in our atmosphere. They're already in our realm, but we are unable to see it because of the pain and the struggle that we're in, because of the turmoil we're in. We're unable to see that what we need to break free, what we need to get unstuck, we already have. And so I believe by praying and seeking God, asking for direction and clarity, by working on our wellness, by working on improving our bodies, improving our lives, and then really digging into what did God already put on the inside of me, those are some of the key tools to begin rebuilding your life. So if any of that sounds like you, if you're feeling right now like maybe I should take the next step, maybe I should do this 5-day challenge with her, I want to personally invite you to do the 5-day challenge with me. I want to personally invite you to step into this. We're going to just take 5 days and we're going to start rebuilding our lives. We're going to seek God and say, God, what is it? Show me where I'm stuck. Show me why I'm stuck. Show me what I need to do next. Show me what things I need to address. Show me what you've already placed on the inside of me that I need to pull back out, that I need to activate, that I need to stir up. And I believe that God is going to answer. I believe when you give God these 5 days, he's going to show up for you. He's going to answer you. He's going to give you the tools that you need. He's going to give you the clarity and the insight and the wisdom that you need to begin rebuilding your life, because that's his desire. God's desire is for you to be blessed and for you to be prosperous. God does not want you to be stuck. God does not want this to be the end for you. God has so many things in store for you. He has goodness for you in the land of the living. Yes, you will be blessed in heaven, but there are blessings for you right here in the earth. And I believe God wants you to receive the fullness of all that he has for you here in the earth realm. So I want you to join me for the Rebuild Your Life 5-day challenge. All the information, the link, and everything else you might need to know is in the description below. So I look forward to partnering with you and connecting with you for the Rebuild Your Life 5-day challenge, and we will talk again soon.